gross negligence, or any other theory of liability that may arise or in connection with my participation in the production, including any personal injury, property damage, or other losses I may sustain, agree to indemnify and hold the company harmless of any and all claims, damages, costs, expenses, liabilities, including reasonable attorney fees that may be brought against and a result of my involvement in the production. I understand that I might be signing this. I am giving up my rights to sue the company, and that I release it's intended to be as a broadcast and inclusive as permitted by the laws of the government of the jurisdiction. The Buga Sphere, Colombia. Welcome back to You Think You Know UFOs. I'm Stephen Taylor. In Season 1, we've explored some of the most compelling UFO/UAP cases around the world. And today, Episode 3, we focus on a bizarre metallic sphere recovered in Colombia. This object is stirring debate across ufology, science, and media. What is it? Where did it come from? Could it be extraterrestrial? Or is there a more mundane explanation? We'll trace the history, examine the current possession of chain of custody, review the scientific tests and claimed anomalies, and ask the key question: what does this really mean for the UFO/UAP phenomenon? So buckle up and let's dive into the mystery of the Buga Sphere. The discovery and history. Our story begins in Colombia, in the municipality of Buga, in the Valle del Cauca region. In early March 2025, a metallic sphere was reportedly spotted in the sky above Buga. According to social media reports, on March 2nd, the object was seen flying, hovering, or descending near the town before being recovered. Local witnesses say the object fell or landed. One version claims it came close to high-tension wires, creating a spark. The new sphere then became the focus of investigation by independent researchers and media, perhaps most prominently via reports from journalist/ufologist Jaime Maussan. What makes it unusual, investigators state the object has no visible welds or joints, normally hallmarks of human-manufactured metal objects. X-ray or imaging tests reportedly revealed a structure of 3 metallic layers and 9 or more microspheres embedded inside. There are also claims of the surface being engraved with mysterious symbols, though details remain vague. While the case is recent and still under investigation, it has already generated a wave of speculation in UFO circles and mainstream media alike. Current possession and chain of custody. Now let's see at who the sphere, how it's being handled, and what we know about its chain of custody, because in any potential UFO/artifact case, that's a crucial factor. According to the reports, after the object was recovered in near Buga, it came under the control of local individuals rather than any governmental agency. Some sources say the finder remains anonymous or semi-anonymous. From there, the sphere was shown to investigators, imaged and brought to the X-ray labs in Mexico, and some accounts for their further study. One key point: there is no publicly verified chain of custody from the official Colombian authorities, no clear government lab or independent peer-reviewed publication yet. As of our filming, that raises questions. In fact, some news outlets frame the story as still unverified. Experts caution that this may turn out to be a hoax or an art project. Nevertheless, the sphere remains in the hands of researchers who claim to have performed imaging and reported anomalies, which we'll examine next. Scientific tests and reported anomalies. Let's dig into the scientific tests and the claimed anomalies surrounding the Buga Sphere. According to the People magazine's article, one researcher, radiologist Dr. Jose Luis Velazquez, said the object shown no welds or joints, and though X-ray found it had 3 metal layers and 9 microspheres inside. Another report states that the surface has symbols carved on it. though the exact language or origin of those symbols is not fully disclosed. The Time of India reported a viral chain that the sphere responded to Sanskrit chants or Vedic mantras, although they clarified that this is unverified and likely speculative. From an engineering and material standpoint, the absence of welds or joints, if verified, would be unusual for human-manufactured spheres of this nature, but not impossible. For example, if cast as a single piece, however, there is a critical caveat. The composition of the metals is not publicly verified. The microspheres could be explanation artifacts. The imaging and analysis appear to come from non-peer-reviewed research. Skeptics point out that until the full skeptographic studies, isotopic analysis, and independent labs replicate the findings, we must remain cautious. For example, experts told the Economic Times that this could be a hoax given past cases, e.g. the Peruvian mummy scandal. In short, the sphere shows interesting anomalies, but at this stage, the origin, extraterrestrial, terrestrial, advanced tech, acoustics, host, remains undetermined. Scientific and ufological interpretation. So what are the interpretations being offered, and what do the scientists and ufologists say? On one side, proponents argue that the Buga Sphere could represent a non-human intelligence, or at least an unknown advanced technology. They emphasize the unusual internal structure, lack of welds, and the possibility of inscriptions meant as message to humanity. On the other side, many scientists remain skeptical. For instance, Dr. Julia Mossbridge of the University of San Diego remarked that although the object is interesting, it looks to me like a really cool art project. She further emphasized that the importance of sending such potential artifacts to independent organizations like the Galileo Project for rigorous vetting. In UFO research, a key principle is extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So far, the Buga Sphere is anomalies consistent with something unusual, but not yet the chain of evidence to definitely claim extraterrestrial origin. There are also broader implications. If this object is real and non-terrestrial, it begs question of origin, intent, manufacturing, purpose, and what it means for humanity. Controversially, if it turns out to be a terrestrial advanced tech or an acoustic object, the social and psychological impact of its presence still matters. It reflects culture, hunger for the unknown, as well as our readiness to project non-human explanations onto mysterious tech. Current status and what to watch. Where does the investigation stand today, and what should you keep an eye on? As of now, the sphere is under control of independent researchers. No public official government lab report has been released. Additional scientific tests are promised. Full compositional analyst, isotopic radio checks, high-resolution imagery, possibly radiocarbon dating if there's an organic residue, in which it did come back. The radiocarbon organic residue came back to say it was 12,500 years old. Can you believe that? Over 12,000 years old. Media's interest remains high. New videos and viral posts, including claims of the responsiveness to human chanted mantras, are circulating, though many are unverified. Key signals to watch: peer-reviewed publication of test results, independent lab replicating internal structure claims, definitive chemical composition, trace isotope anomalies, prevalence documentation that can verify recovery, chain of custody, and handling. If those arrive and supports the anomalies, this could become a landmark case in UFO/UTPF unidentified technological phenomenon research. If they contradict the anomalies or trace to terrestrial manufacture, the story will serve as cautionary tale. Even Stephen Greer is going on the front lines to give his thoughts this week on the Buga Sphere and the relation he believes, thinks, and what he can tell of the creation, implications, and why it matters. Finally, Why does this matter? What are the border implications of the Buga Sphere for UFO and UAP research? If validated, it could represent physical artifact evidence beyond aerial sightings, shifting to paradigm from we seeing to we have something. For science and technology, an object with no welds or unusual internal structure might suggest advanced manufacturing or materials we haven't documented. For society and culture, the fascination with such objects reflects deep human desires. To know we are not alone, to understand hidden technologies, to face the unknown, even if the sphere is terrestrial, its story shows how people respond to the mystery. For skepticism and verification, this case underscores the importance of rigorous methods, independent verification, traceable provenances, and peer review. Especially in the fields where hoaxes have emerged in the past, we must be open-minded but not uncritical. In other words, the Buga Sphere might be a door into the unknown or a mirror reflecting readiness for mystery. Either way, it's worth following closely. That brings us to the end of episode 3 of the You Think You Know UFOs channel. The Buga Sphere remains a tantalizing enigma, unusual, provocative, but as yet unproven. Over the coming months, we'll keep monitoring new data, lab results, and official statements. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. Leave a comment below. What do you think the sphere is? Extraterrestrial? Artifact? Advanced terrestrial tech? Art project? Or hoaxed? And what would it mean if it were extraterrestrial? Thanks for watching. I'm Stephen Taylor, and we'll see you next time on You Think You Know UFOs. Up next is a little part of Stephen Greer's interview about the Buga Sphere here just recently. His take and his position and his technological expertise and opinion are here for you to listen to in this interview up next. Stay tuned and watch us here at You Think You Know UFOs channel. Brought to you by You Think You Know UFOs and authored by Stephen Taylor. See you guys later. Bye.
No, because that's stupid. I know offense, whoever said that is idiotic. You don't take something and damage it because even though it isn't flying now, because it hit that high voltage line and it's probably shorted out a lot of its circuitry. If you were to do that, you could irreparably damage what part of it is still functioning. So, you want to be careful with this. You want to do it as non-invasively, to use a medical term, as possible. So one of the things I've suggested is that there are 2 of those little holes around the equator that communicate all the way through the thickness of the metal, where if you took the resin out, you could go all the way through, make the hole a little bigger, and get a fiber optic scope in there, like you use for medicine or robotic surgery in medicine, and have a camera externally to put it on a big screen. And we might see some structures in there that then subsequently we could get more data on, or even get another carbon-14 test from inside the sphere, as opposed to these little tiny holes on the outside. So, I think there's a lot more to be done. Jaime Maussan has that object, not me, but I'm advising him on what their team could do. The next step of tests that I think they ought to be doing scientifically.
But you're already there. You're
advanced human-based civilization that had contact with ETs. Now remember,
a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah. So let me tell your listeners a little interesting debriefing I had near Huntsville, Alabama, where the Marshall Space Flight Center is, in the Redstone Arsenal. There's a scientist there I know. About maybe 10, 15 years ago, I was down there in his skiff, secure compartment information facility. It's, a secure, electronically sealed facility. This guy worked for the CIA, but via a contractor. And periodically, things would be brought to him, ancient, like old, a piece of technology, but that was hundreds of thousands of years old. And he says some of them were from Earth-based civilizations that we have virtually no record of, and some were extraterrestrial civilizations. So now you get into with the Buga Sphere. It's old. It's definitely not of a modern make and era. The symbols on it, we've just found out, are a type of Proto-Sanskrit. You may have heard this or not. This is a big breaking story in the last few days.
I haven't. That's incredible.
Well, this is that, when they first picked it up, it weighed about 2 kilograms. Now it's 10 kilograms.
Right.
And I was talking to the scientists that's there that worked with finding the song, and they couldn't make it. I said, no, this is the essence of what's called mass cancellation. So electrogravitic and ET propulsion systems, both the man-made ones, that when something is moving in this electromagnetic anti-gravity bubble, the mass of the object itself, and here's this crystal, to get weighs however many ounces, they can be lighter than a feather, because the actual, let's call it the atomic weight of the real mass of the object is getting, in Earth gravity, reduced almost to zero, because of the electromagnetic anti-gravitational field or gravitic field. And I'm not going to get into the physics of it. We understand the physics of it. But when I heard that about the Buga Sphere, I said, now we have something very significant, because it meant that it wasn't just having spinning effect. It actually was becoming more and more massless. So, mass is what something weighs even out in space. Weight is what it weighs in one gravitational force of the Earth. I know it's a physics thing, but, so go kill me, I'm a scientist. So anyway,
Top secret ending. And now, a sneak peek into the next episode, The Black Triangles.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.